So the WNBA expansion draft is happening soon, and every team has already submitted the players that they have to.
Okay, so the Indiana Fever basically had a complete social media meltdown. One deleted post exposed their entire draft strategy, and it happened right after Caitlin Clark's draft drew in 6.2 million viewers. Talk about bad timing. This couldn't have come at a worse moment for the Golden State Valkyries, the NBA's newest franchise. They're trying to scoop up top talent, especially with the Fever being valued at a massive number. The front office in Indiana went into full lockdown mode after that post disappeared. And honestly, the anxiety is through the roof with the November 25th protection deadline getting closer. But here's the kicker. The leaked roster list was a total bombshell. It completely left out a key player. People are already asking if this is the biggest front office screw-up since the Elena Del Don trade back in 2020. Total disaster.
So lads, the Indiana Fever might be making a huge mistake. Again, this is a might because you just never know. You never know when it comes to things like this because you don't know how players pan out. You don't know. Maybe you're overrating a player, maybe you're underrating a player, but it's always kind of hard to tell when it comes to young.
Alright, before we dive deeper into this whole mess, let's break down what's actually going on. This isn't your average draft, it's an expansion draft for Indiana, and it could completely shape the Golden State Valkyries' future. The Valkyries are joining the league in 2026, and they want to stack their roster with elite talent. Under WNBA rules, existing teams can only protect 6 players, leaving everyone else exposed to selection. And this is where things get wild. Just hours before the protection deadline on November 24th, the Fever's social media team posted what looked like an innocent photo of coach Stephanie White standing with exactly 6 players. Then, poof, it was gone within 45 minutes. But not before eagle-eyed fans grabbed screenshots and set the WNBA community on fire. Let's talk numbers for a second. The Fever's market value skyrocketed by 47% after drafting Caitlin Clark. Her jersey is now the league's top seller, and season ticket renewals are up a staggering 300%. The deleted photo showed Clark front and center alongside Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hull, Aaliyah Boston, Temi Fagbenel, and Nalissa Smith. Those 6 players represent a combined $4.6 million cap hit for 2025. And now here's the problem. The list left out Grace Berger, a promising guard on a very team-friendly rookie contract. Insiders are also whispering about Nalissa Smith. Between her eye poke incident, that viral TikTok, and the rumored practice drama, tension has reportedly built up inside the locker room. People are seriously questioning whether she should be protected over younger, lower-cost talent. One executive even told me, "This kind of choice could haunt a franchise for 4 years." The timing couldn't be worse for Indiana either. They're heading to the playoffs for the first time since 2016, and attendance is up 60%. The pressure to keep that momentum alive is enormous, especially with the Valkyries circling. And get this, the Valkyries are backed by Silicon Valley money. They're building a state-of-the-art arena in Oakland and have already poured in $50 million as their first investment, making them one of the best-funded expansion teams in women's sports history. But the expansion draft rules are brutal. Only 6 players can be protected, and the Valkyries can take 1 player from each existing team, but only 1 unrestricted free agent in total. Teams have to be extremely strategic about who they leave exposed, balancing current stars against future potential. For the Fever, the stakes couldn't be higher. After years of rebuilding, they finally struck gold with Boston and Clark, and now they risk losing key members of their supporting cast. Basically, that leaked post gave the Valkyries a sneak peek into the Fever's playbook, letting them plan their draft strategy perfectly. So, let's break down each player from that leaked image. Caitlin Clark. Protecting her is a no-brainer. She's averaging 21.4 points per game, leads the league in assists, and has already broken 3 rookie records. Her impact off the court is just as massive. Fever TV ratings are up 156% since her debut. Aaliyah Boston. Another former Rookie of the Year, Boston's post presence is essential. She's averaging 16 points, and her chemistry with Clark on the pick and roll is electric. One of the best duos in the league. Kelsey Mitchell, the veteran leader and consistent scorer. She's entering the final year of her contract, but team sources say they plan to use her essential classification to keep her in Indiana. Her 42% three-point shooting and 18.2 points per game are crucial for spacing. Lexi Hull. Her inclusion might surprise casual fans, but the numbers speak for themselves. She has the highest defensive rating among all WNBA guards, an incredible 92. When she's the primary defender, opponents shoot just 34% from the field. She's exactly the kind of glue player championship teams rely on. Alyssa Smith. Here's where the real debate begins. On paper, her stats are solid. 12.4 points per game, but the off-court drama has been a constant distraction. The eye poke incident at practice led to a 3-game suspension and cost the team a crucial playoff position. Her social media posts reportedly created locker room tension, with 3 veterans requesting private meetings with coaches. Several sources confirm that teams like the Las Vegas Aces have already reached out to inquire about possible trades. Temi Fagbenel, possibly the most puzzling piece of this whole puzzle. She offers valuable veteran presence, but her numbers have dropped sharply since midseason. Over her last 15 games, she's averaging just 5.2 points and 4.1 rebounds, down from 8.7 and 6.3 earlier in the season. Her defensive impact has slipped too, with opponents shooting 47% in the paint against her, up from 30%. WNBA analysts believe this could be a smokescreen for a much bigger move behind the scenes.
The Indiana Fever, I would genuinely want to protect Grace Berger. So I think Grace Berger I think in the modern WNBA, Grace Berger is going to be such a...
But here's what's really keeping the Fever front office up at night. Grace Berger was left unprotected. She's shown flashes of serious brilliance, especially as a backup shooter for Clark, hitting an impressive 44% from three-point range in her limited appearances. Plus, in games where she's played more than 20 minutes, she's averaged 9.2 points, 4.8 assists, and a positive plus-minus of plus 5.2. League scouts already view her as a potential starting guard in the near future. One Eastern Conference executive even compared her skill set to Courtney Vandersloot's. Leaving her exposed like this could honestly backfire on Indiana for years to come.
A 95% chance the Golden State Valkyries select Grace Berger. She is young. She's what, like 24 maybe? She is a 6-foot tall point guard. She can shoot the ball. She led the W in three-point percentage 2 seasons ago. And she's also can handle, she can pass, she can defend.
Okay, so the Golden State Valkyries front office, especially their analytics department, must be practically salivating right now. These are former NBA executives, many from the Warriors, and they've been preparing for this draft for months. They've built an exclusive scouting system that blends traditional statistics with advanced analytics. Plus, they've got $5.7 million in capital ready for big contracts, along with a marketing machine capable of turning role players into household names. That a Valkyries source even revealed that they've already identified 3 potential franchise pillars from the pool of vulnerable players. And let's talk money. The NBA's new TV deal could kick in next season, potentially doubling the salary cap from $1.4 million to nearly $3 million. That means players are starting to recognize their true worth, especially those left unprotected. Rookie contracts like Grace Berger's become even more valuable as teams scramble to manage their cap space. For the Fever, this social media leak could end up costing millions in future trade assets. It's like they just showed their entire hand to the league's newest powerhouse. The fan reaction has been explosive. More than 50,000 tweets about the team have trended in the last 24 hours. Instagram engagement has surged, and season ticket holders are jamming the phone lines. One fan group even launched a Change.org petition to save Grace Berger, which gained 15,000 signatures in just 6 hours. Even Caitlin Clark's dad posted a cryptic tweet saying, "Trust Indy," which racked up 100,000 likes before being deleted. Remember when the Detroit Shock lost their core in the 2009 dispersal draft? They went from champions to barely making the playoffs, eventually relocating to Tulsa. The Fever are in a similarly tight spot right now. One mistake could undo years of patient rebuilding. The next 48 hours are absolutely critical for this franchise. Prominent sources close to the team hint that there's more to the story than meets the eye, with rumors of possible 3-team trades involving protected players and signed European prospects. and even international stars currently competing overseas. That deleted post could be the start of a much larger roster shakeup. The entire WNBA community is on edge. Will Indiana stick with the leaked list, or was this an elaborate smokescreen setting up shocking last-minute changes? What happens to the players left unguarded, and how will they respond to being publicly exposed? The answers could shape not only the Fever's future, but also the competitive balance of the entire league for years to come. One thing certain. This expansion draft just got a whole lot more fascinating. Every team in the league is watching Indiana, and the Valkyries front office is probably pulling all-nighters analyzing every possible scenario. Agents are lighting up the phone lines, desperate for clarity. The ripple effects of this leak are spreading fast. Looking at historical precedents for expansion drafts only makes the situation more intense. With the official list submission due today, the stakes couldn't be higher. The Fever's market value has jumped 32%, so every roster move the Valkyries make now represents a multi-million-dollar risk. Even the sports betting markets are reacting. Vegas odds for the Fever's 2025 championship run dropped from plus 800 to over plus 1,200 just hours after the post went viral. Analysts say the cause is simple: instability. As veteran oddsmaker Jimmy Peterson put it, the market hates uncertainty, and this leak created plenty of it. You can't overlook the psychological toll on players either. Sports psychologist Sarah Martinez, who works with multiple professional teams, says that being publicly listed as unprotected can severely impact a player's mindset and performance. It's like being told you're expendable through social media, she explained. That's incredibly hard to process. Reports say Fever practices have been tense since the leak. Observers noticed less interaction between players, with some appearing distracted or hesitant during scrimmages. Several have even booked private sessions with team counselors to refocus and cope with the sudden chaos. The global angle adds yet another layer. 3 European teams have reportedly contacted agents representing unprotected Fever players, hoping to lure them overseas. Turkish powerhouse Fenerbahçe has allegedly made strong offers to any player left exposed. International media coverage has gone far beyond the sports pages. Major outlets are treating this as a cautionary tale about digital security and crisis management in professional sports. The situation has sparked broader conversations about social media protocol across multiple leagues and even corporations. Corporate sponsors are watching closely too. The Fever's main jersey sponsor, a major healthcare organization, has called an emergency meeting with team executives. Their multi-million-dollar contract includes stability clauses that could be affected by large-scale roster changes. Local businesses around Gainbridge Fieldhouse are also nervous. Restaurant owner Maria Rodriguez, whose place gets 40% of its revenue on game days, said their entire business model depends on Fever home games. "Any hit to the team's success hits us too," she said. The timing couldn't be worse for merchandise vendors either. Their holiday sales projections relied on roster consistency. Clark jerseys alone were expected to bring in $3.2 million this December. With uncertainty clouding the team's future, some retailers have already cut or delayed inventory orders that WNBA executive Jim Thompson called the leak extremely damaging, explaining that teams usually use back-channel communications to negotiate protection strategies. But Indiana just lost that leverage entirely. Meanwhile, TikTok has exploded with Fever-related content. Over 50 million views in 24 hours. Fan theories range from believable to completely wild, with some suggesting the leak was a deliberate PR stunt. The team's communications staff has been working overtime, holding emergency focus groups with season ticket holders to gauge sentiment. Early data shows fans are split nearly 50-50 between those who support the leak strategy and those demanding changes. Youth basketball programs affiliated with the Fever are also feeling the effects. Local coaches report a surge in questions from young players about career stability and team loyalty. As AAU coach Marcus Williams put it, "These kids idolize their heroes, but now they're learning how harsh the business side of basketball can be." Other WNBA teams are closely watching, because how this plays out could reshape future expansion strategies league-wide. Sports business analysts say a successful approach from Golden State could set a new benchmark for franchise building. Even the Players' Union is monitoring the situation. While no official statement has been released, insiders say they're reviewing the case for potential inclusion in the next collective bargaining agreement, possibly adding new rules about how protection lists are communicated. Tech experts are weighing in too. Digital security consultant Rachel Chun says this incident highlights the need for multiple approval levels for all team social media posts. No single person should ever have unilateral posting access, she warned. Inside the Fever organization, it's now a pressure cooker. Employees report new phone check policies and stricter access control.